Hi friends, Ramat here. Today I'm going to show you how I made these 3 cards from the start to finish. Most of you might have seen the coloring on Instagram which I posted a couple of days back. So I've used the pure florals from Uniko. The stamp is Gerbara. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'm really not sure of the pronunciation. Haven't I looked at on Google either. So I've used a bunch of color pencils here from Prismacolor's Premier, which were actually sitting in my stash for a long time. This orange flower which I colored was the first time I actually opened the pack, and I'm so glad that I opened the pack. I was never ever comfortable coloring with color pencils. I just didn't have the patience, and I just thought that every time I colored I just didn't like what I colored. But this time I think I've looked around people doing it. There are many talented people and they post on Instagram their work. So of course I was able to challenge myself, and I think I did okay. So all these 3 cards are flowers are colored using the color pencil. The first one I chose is orange shades. I like how the flower came out. And the second one is a bluish one. There are shades of blue, purple, and I finished off with white, so it gives a very nice finish to the blue flower. And yeah, that's it. I just drew a stalk. I didn't stamp it. I just drew it, and that's all I've done for that blue one. And the third one is the coloring on the craft, which is, I don't know, if you follow me you would know that how much I love coloring white flowers. Even not just on the craft stock or on the blacks, but even on whites I go for white flowers. I always say that coloring white is a challenge in itself, and I still would say coloring whites is a challenge in itself. So this white on craft, well, I stamped with Versamark watermarking, and then yeah, I've used pencils. Basically I've used just whites and grays and browns, gold. I used gold here, and some greens and yellow. That's it. Those were the color pencils which I've used. You will always see me putting the pencils next to the card photos. So yeah, so this is what my coloring was for this white daisy. And even though I've sped up the videos really a lot, it's still taking me like a video is still playing and I'm waiting for it to finish. Okay, so it's done here, and now you will see me actually creating how I used all these colored panels now. So for this one, actually what I did was I went and just sponged it with very light hand, and I don't know why it's not in the complete focus, but I've used the nature's stencil here. What I did was I sponged only the bottom with a very light hand, used the nature's stencil and went over it. So you see very light leaves pattern, very light handed actually. And this flower was actually partially fuzzy cut from both sides. So added, and then I did my sponging. So, and I've used foam adhesive to just lift the middle panel. So you have 2 sides, you have this partial fuzzy cutting on that. And here actually I've used another stencil of Uniko's, and with a very light hand, and I went with a, if I'm not wrong, I've used pine needle distressing, but very light hand that is actually not even caught up on the video. And I've just added the flower with the foam adhesive, and I've just added a sentiment, and part of sentiment is stamped in blue so that it just goes with the whole design. And the last one, actually I chose a craft base here because I wanted this, it was looking nice actually, craft, and I just didn't want any other color there. So I've just used craft base, and I've just added the sentiment also on craft, but I've edged it with the olive greens. So that's pretty much how I finished all my 3 cards. and jewels. Yeah, you will see me, every card has a jewel. So that's it, and I hope you like all these cards, and thank you for watching. This is Raymond for Uniko. Have a nice day, everyone.